I didn't set out to become a tattoo artist, so this, I fell into it. I got my first tattoo at 15. I grew up kind of being attracted to things outside of the box. Skateboarding, punk rock, hip hop wasn't popular, just things that kind of like had an edge to them. So in those cultures, tattooing was popular, so I was drawn to it. So at 15, I was hanging out downtown in Manhattan a lot. I grew up in Jersey, so I'd always hop on the bus and go do my thing down there. And I met some people that had some really nice tattoos, and I was in the market, and I said, where do you get your tattoos? And they said in the Bronx. And I went to the Bronx and got my first tattoo at 15. And then when I was 17, my friend introduced me to his friend, who was his tattoo artist. So he introduced us, and we hit it off. And I started working there my senior year, not tattooing or anything, but just helping out around the shop, bringing business there, learning the behind the scenes stuff. And then I graduated high school, and 2 days later they asked me if I wanted to learn. My dad's like a hippie, so he was just like, whatever. But my mom's uptight, and she was like, I remember her specifically, when I said that's what I was gonna pursue, she said, why don't you get a real job and buy a car like everyone else your age? It wasn't so mainstream yet. It was like underground, It wasn't something that was for everybody, like it is now, which is good too, being that this is how I pay my bills and raise my children. But back then I was attracted to it because it was outside of the box. In the beginning, it was more people bringing an idea, and then either I make the design or it's something that they had. But in the beginning, it was a lot of designs that were already created. The custom aspect came in a few years later. Once I got more confident, then it was like, oh, okay, you want this? All right, I'll draw it up for you. I feel like every day is like the best experience. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I really try to make it be that way, because nobody's tattoo is more or less important. As an artist, I try to keep pushing the envelope so that I don't impress myself too much, Because that's when people get lazy and fall off. Each tattoo I get has its own story and importance, where I was in my life. It's not always good sometimes, gone through some hard times and look back, oh, I remember when I was here struggling with that and I got that tattoo. But I don't think every tattoo has to have a meaning. That's one misconception. It's surface and super deep at the same time, Sometimes it's like an accessory to people. It's like a handbag, like, oh, I want this tattoo. Nicole Richie has that. It's more like buying something. But even underneath the surface, it's deeper than that, I've been doing this for myself for 17 years, but it's not like this is my job, this is my life. When you work for somebody else, you go to work on those hours. When you leave, you're done. On the weekends, you're done. You don't think about it. Like this, but it's great. It's a struggle to keep it going, to keep trying to work harder and push it further and further, but the reward is greater than the effort that I have to put in.